Alright, welcome back. In today's video I want to showcase my latest levels, and those are two one-screen puzzles. The first one was the Easter level that I did this year, which is the Easter eggs puzzle, and it is themed around Yoshi. The second one is a new soup puzzle called Moonlight Puzzle. And this one uses the moon, which is, I think, an item that is not very often used, especially not in puzzle levels. So I thought, why not make a puzzle around the moon? So if you want to play the levels before I show the solution now, the course IDs are on screen here, but I will also put them in the description down below. So let's start with the first level. The goal is to beat the level with Yoshi, so you have to bring a Yoshi here. And the first step is pretty much the only thing you can do, because you cannot really go anywhere yet, is to hit the on-off switch, and at first glance that might not change that much, so still all the areas seem to be blocked off. However, you can get this spring now, and with the help of the spring you can get the green Yoshi up into the other area, and now you can use it to damage boost in order to get the red Yoshi, and with that one you can now melt all of the ice blocks in the level. So next step is to put the red Yoshi here, put the helmet on, and now we use the sideways spring in this area with the help of the green Yoshi. Now we need to go down there with the red Yoshi and use the shell to kick it up into the spring in order to hit the on-off switch. And then we need to put the power block here, where we can later get it with the green Yoshi, and use the red Yoshi to get out of this area. And now the goal is to get all of the items stacked under this door so that we can go in. So the first item that we have to put into the claw is the helmet. And now if we would put the sideways spring next, it would just kick the helmet out of the claw again. However, we need it as a platform in order to get the power block up here. So now the last step is to get the sideways spring also here, and we could just spit it from here with the Yoshi, but then the problem is that we wouldn't have a Yoshi anymore to win. So what we have to do instead is to push the Yoshi through here, then damage boost through the saw and tank the spring from this side of the wall. And now we have Yoshi and we can beat the level. And the second puzzle is, as I said, based around the moon. And this is basically, it just destroys all enemies on screen. But as you can see, and that's also a key part of the puzzle, it also destroys objects that are not necessarily enemies, like that snowball on the right side. So in order to do anything, we basically have to use the moon, as there's a muncher here, so we have to clear all of the enemies out of the way. And this also reveals to us that there's a block behind this, where the wiggler was before, basically. So at some point we somehow need to do stuff with that block. And one thing that we can hit is this block right here, which contains a bomb. However, we will need that bomb later, so let's start over, because that's the wrong time to use the bomb. So as you can see here, there's a muncher, so we cannot really do anything before we activated the moon here. And as we cannot use the bomb yet, the only thing that we can really do is to hit this on-off switch. And what this does is that it drops the sideways spring here so that we can go into this door. And as soon as we come out of the door, we automatically immediately collect the moon, which destroys the snowball. So, for example, if we wanted to hit this block to the right of Mario, we need the snowball, but as it seems like there is no way around activating the moon, we cannot just take the snowball and hit the block. However, actually there is one way around that, and that is to immediately, basically while we're going through the door, to already hold down, so we will spawn and immediately duck, and that way we don't activate the moon. Also in this block down here there's a Yoshi, but if we just activate it now, then that will not help us because we cannot get the Yoshi then. So as I said, first step is basically go through this door and duck immediately. So this lets us get the snowball. And now we already have another problem because theoretically we have the snowball now, so we could go through the door to hit this block here. But as we have the snowball, we cannot do that ducking trick anymore because we cannot duck while holding an item. And also immediately releasing the item and ducking does not work, so now we have to use the snowball in another way, so we cannot activate that block below Mario yet. But what we can do with the snowball is to throw it into this on-off switch from the side, so now we can actually go through the door with the switch state changed. And that now means that we can get Yoshi. And with Yoshi, the thing is we can also not duck, so we can not go through the door again without activating the moon. However, as we have the snowball in Yoshi's mouth now, we can still save it even though the moon gets activated. So now we can use the snowball to hit this block, which reveals a power block. And the thing is, with Yoshi, normally you cannot spit out a power block without breaking it. However, as we need the power block still, we need to find a way to do so. And the way to do so is to use the sideways spring, because if the power block bounces off the sideways spring, then it goes into its normal state again, where it does not break when it hits something. So now we need to use the power block as a platform for the Yoshi to run over later. So if we put it here in the middle of this donut, then you can see it builds a bridge. So now we need to somehow hurt the Yoshi so that it runs across that power block bridge. And at the same time, it seems like we also need something to go through here to hit the on-off switch again. And basically we can solve both of these problems using the bomb. So if we position Yoshi here right at the edge, and then we wait for the bomb to walk here, then we can throw it here so it will hit the on-off switch. At the same time, it will also hurt Yoshi, so that Yoshi runs across and collects the key. To get the power block back out, we once again need to use the sideways spring trick from before. And finally, similar like in the last puzzle, we need to stack all of the different items under the door in order to win. So first we need the sideways spring, and then we need to put Yoshi on top, and finally we need to put the power block on Yoshi. And as this level does not require us to bring Yoshi through the door, this is now the way that we win. So we stack all of the items, and then there's one final ending troll. So there's a muncher right here, so if you come out of the door for a split second, it looks like you would just fall onto the muncher. But this is also the place where the moon spawns in the other room at this side. So the moon also spawns when you go through this door, and you just automatically collect it falling down here, so you actually kill the muncher before it reaches you. And that's how you beat that second level. That's it for today, and see you in the next video.